Break even, the break even stop adjustment. All right. Now, when are you allowed to go to break even? You can go to break even after 3 pushes or after 2 pushes if it's under 50. So after 3 pushes above $50, after 2 pushes below $50. So if your stock, if you bought this, right? Let's say you bought above the high, confirmation entry, boom. Your initial stop is here. You get 1, 2, and you're under 50, you can go to break even. Move your stop to wherever break even is mentally. Or you need 3 pushes if you're over 50 to go to break even. So that's step number 1. Get your stop to break even after 2 pushes under 50 or after 3 pushes above 50. Break even. Once you go to break even, you're now playing with the market's money. You're not playing with your original capital. You are playing with the market's money. It's the market's money. Your profits are the market's money until you take it and put it in your pocket. You're now playing with the market's money. Your money has been removed from the risk equation. You're not going to lose your money now. So the first stop adjustment that we're covering here is break even. All right. You got the first one? You understand the first one? Break even. All right. Now, stop number 2, stop adjustment number 2. All right. Pivot 1. What's pivot 1? This is a pivot, a pullback and a move back up. A pivot is a pullback and a move back up. Now look at this drop first that I'm drawing. Here's the drop. Okay. Now here's the 100% retracement level, meaning at this point the stock gets all the way back 100% of the drop. But you don't need that for the pivot. You need 80% retracement of the drop. Boom. Now this becomes a pivot. This is not a pivot. Listen to me carefully. This is not a pivot. Do not call that a pivot. This is now a pivot. Goes higher, 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 higher. 80%. Boom. Now you have a pivot. You need a lift to have a pivot. You can't have a check mark. That's a check mark. That's not a pivot. You need 80% retracement. Boom. Now I've got a pivot. So look at Microsoft. Microsoft pulls back. Why is this not erasing that? Oh, okay. Let's do it again. Microsoft pulls back. All right. Goes up, 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 up. 80%. Okay, now I got a pivot. Now my stop goes, if my stop was max, because the 200 is here, right? Let's say your stop was max. Your stop now moves to pivot 1. Tell me you understand this. Pivot 1, stop adjustment after a pullback and an 80% retracement. Beautiful. You've just tightened up your stop. You've minimized your risk. All right. So stop adjustment number 1, break even. That's after 2 pushes under 50, 3 pushes above 50. Stop adjustment number 2, pivot 1. For short, I call it P1, pivot 1. You must have the first pullback and an 80% retracement to adjust to pivot 1. Stop adjustment number 3. This is really exciting, guys. You don't understand that this is the mastery part of your trading. Stop adjustments. It's why I save it for last almost. If you get the stop adjustments down, wow. This is the sexiest part of your trading. This is the mastery part of your trading. Managing your trade in between the stop out point and the profit taking point. No novice knows how to do this. No untrained trader knows how to do this. But you're going to know how to manage your trade in a mastery type of way. And it's so sexy. It's so sexy. All right. So stop adjustment number 3 is one of my favorite ones. All right. It's big bar stop adjustment. De la grande. Okay. Big bar stop adjustment. Look at this big bar right here. You were at, look, even this one's big. So your stop is at pivot 1. This is P1. Boom, big, a nice fat bar, My stop gets adjusted right under that fat bar. I get another fat bar. Now my stop gets adjusted under this fat bar. And let me tell you something. You can fat bar, by fat bar, by fat bar, by fat bar your way to the promised land. This is my favorite stop adjustment of all. Fat bar, by fat bar, by fat bar. This will keep you in some of the biggest, longest, most profitable trades of your life. All right? Nice, Reza. All right. Love it. Stop adjustment. Number 4. So I like to save this for when the market's open, because I like to do it on something that happened now, today, to show you how it really works, and not that I'm randomly picking the best examples for my slides. We're going to use, I signify it like this, bar by bar. You start to separate away from the 20. Now, bar by bar. Boom, 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 out right there. When you start to separate away from the 20, bar by bar, away bar by bar, away bar by bar. Do you understand this? Now listen to me carefully. You don't choose one of these. No choices. Even though the big bar is my favorite one, I'm not choosing that one. I'm doing whichever one comes next. If the big bar comes next, stop adjustment under the big bar. If the pivot 1 comes next, stop adjustment under pivot 1. If the break even comes, break even. Now, if the next one is pivot 1, pivot 1. If the next one is big bar, if I move away bar by bar, it's not a choice. It's you have to do whichever one comes next. Now, we're not finished. I need the 5th one. The 5th one is the color stop adjustment. Whew, this is so sexy to me. All right, let me get these off first. The next one is color. To me, this is the most exciting part, the stop adjustments. Love it. Color. So what's a color? The color stop adjustment is going to be based on the opposite color of your trade. So if you're long, red is the opposite color. So when you get the opposite color, boom, and you are followed by 2 green bars, boom, you can move your stop under the color. Boom. So it's very simple. You get the opposite color, red. That red bar is followed by 2 greens. 1, 2, now move your stop under the color. You get your opposite color again. When it's followed by 2 green, boom, boom, move your stop under that color. And you're going to freaking color your way to maximum profitability. Look at this. Boom. Big bar and color. Bar by bar. Out. This neat little rolling system is going to help you manage your trades and hold on without guessing. Where do I get out? What do I do? Break even. Pivot 1. Big bar. Bar by bar. When you're way, bar by bar. 5. Color. Beautiful. I can explain break even again. Break even is you move your stop to break even after you get 2 pushes if you're under $50, or after you get 3 pushes. Now, what is it that you need me to explain further than that? Do you understand what break even is? Like, after $50. No, if you're trading a stock that is above 50, it's the 3 push rule. If you're trading a stock that is below $50 in price, it's the 2-push rule. We're talking about the price of your stock, right? So Glenn is asking, what is break even? All right. You know, when you take a trade and your stock says you're down $25, and then your stock says now you're down 15, now you're